What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Baseball Card Prospect Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about probably one of my favorite players in all the minors, and that's going to be Cooper Pratt of the Milwaukee Brewers. I just recently started buying him a couple months ago. I did buy him a little bit into the hype just because of the season he did have. Looking at everything, I mean, he has all the talent in the world to become the shortstop of the Brewers here pretty soon. Big, tall, 6'4", almost 200-pound kid, only 20 years old, so he's got plenty of time to develop, and the Brewers will give him time. But what I also like about this move is the Brewers aren't afraid to get their 20-year-olds challengers right away. They did it with Jackson Chourio, where he got the call immediately, right? He made the majors at really young, 21 years old. So I think this year they're going to challenge Pratt right away. He got a good experience at A-ball and a little bit of high A. Most of his ABs last year did come in low A Carolina. But then he did end up making the jump to A-plus ball right before the season ended. He only got 86 ABs in high A. But what's really promising with this kid is he's an excellent defender, and he has really decent speed on the bases, but also I like watching his bat speed. Really, really short, quick to the ball. He's the type of guy that's going to hit he's going to gravitate into more opposite field power. Watching, he hit a lot of doubles to the opposite field, which I do really like. And I think as he gets older, he will grow into that power, and he will be able to hit more of those extra base long balls to that opposite field. I mean, looking at his base numbers, high A, he hit 295, 394 on base. I mean, he only struck out 57 times, 38 walks. I mean, that's great. And 261 plate appearances, or ABs. That's great. With a 789 OPS. I mean, he's right there. Once he starts hitting a little bit more power, I mean, that number is going to skyrocket. I mean, the on-base percentage is right there where you want it. 394 is phenomenal. So he's getting on base. He stole 25 bags at high A, or low A, sorry. Only three home runs and 36 RBIs. RBIs don't really move the needle for me a whole lot. I care more about the power output, getting on base. I think are probably my two favorite things to look at, especially with a lot of these young guys. What's their swinging? What they're swinging at? Are they striking out? He's not striking out a whole lot compared to what he's doing on the walking, which is great. But the one thing he needs to work on, in my opinion, just watching, he needs to put the ball in the air a little bit more. He only had a 28% fly ball rate, so he's not putting the ball in the air a whole lot. That's something he does need to work on. But like I said, as he gets older, the fly ball percentage will go up. He just needs to change that launch angle. That's another one he'll need to work on. But he did have a really good line drive percentage as well, 30%, which was 98th percentile amongst all minor leagues. That's great. I mean, he batted .728 with that line drive percentage. That's phenomenal. And including 11 of his 15 doubles were line drives. So he's swinging. He just needs to get that launch angle up. Hit it up a little bit more, right? But the only thing that did concern me a little bit, but obviously this is the jump from A ball to high A ball. I mean, competition gets a little harder there. His walk rate went down from 12% at high A, or I keep saying high A, low A. He was walking at 12.2%, and it dropped to 4 when he got the A-plus ball. But keeps getting older. It'll get better. And the strikeout percent went up. That's going to happen. It's also inflated numbers with really low at-bats. What's really sharp is how quick he did move up the system. He was, I mean, going into last year, he was the 25th ranked prospect in the Brewers system, and after that season, he jumped up to their 4th, and he's 57th total in the top 100. He skyrocketed. I mean, Fangraphs has him at 50, or MLB Pipeline has him at 57, and MLB Pipeline has him 45th, or Fangraphs, my bad, and 63rd Baseball America. So he's in that top 100, that 1 to 70 range. Bought a lot of hype right there, right? Well, his defense. I'll talk about some of his defense. His defense is A+. I mean, I love it. The kid won a minor league Gold Glove his first year in the minors. His first full season in the minors, I should say. He got a Gold Glove. It's great. He only committed 8 total errors in, let's look here, I believe it was a little over 700 innings, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, between both A ball and A+ ball, 730 and 2/3 innings. He had 3. Sorry, my computer's real laggy right now. He had 127 putouts, 203 assists, and only 8 errors in that 730 innings. That's great. It's a fielding percentage of .976. I mean, just looking at that, and it also looks like he has really above average arm strength as well. So there is that. He's not committing those errors. He's getting the ball over to first or second when he needs to. 51 double plays. I mean, this kid's phenomenal. So we'll kind of get into some of his card prices. By no means am I going to say this is someone you should start buying. I think this is going to be a little bit more of a higher risk play just due to the lack of power just in his first year. And a lot of card collectors or investors, whatever you like to call them, they do value home runs way more than anything else. That's why you see guys like Bryce Eldridge are crazy expensive. I mean, that's why. So, but what I do think there is room for growth, especially if he makes the jump real quick. But we're looking at, I don't have any of his autos, but so looking at just eBay listings, I mean, you get ungraded refractors listed at 100. He's a ton of graded stuff if you prefer to go the graded way as well. Excuse me. Sapphire autos, gold shimmer autos. I mean, his gold shimmer PSA 10 is up for 500 right now. He is, yeah, like I said, he is a little bit more on the expensive side due to the fact that also Brewers fans are very, very loving towards their players, especially their minor leaguers. They buy the crap out of them. And Brewers fans and Brewers development team is also one of my favorite in the league. I mean, they develop kids out the wazoo. I mean, talking South really, Bryce Terang, Tyler Black. They got a ton of really good talent up at the minors or in the major leagues now. And I think this kid is really close to being their shortstop here in the next year or two. I don't think he does it this year. I think he'll be right on par for probably 26. Early 26 would be my guess, depending on how that development goes this year. But, yeah, so I mean, just looking at prices, first chrome autos ungraded at 55. So, yeah, his base stuff is going to be more on the expensive side, but there is room for growth if he does make it to either the AA or AAA. right out the gate, right? It's promotions. He'll move, his prices will skyrocket, I think. Recent sales are a little bit different. First Chrome PSA 10 105, raw is about 45 to 50 in that range. I really don't see it. Haven't seen any go lower than 40 in a good amount of time. So yeah, this guy is going to be a little bit more on the expensive side, but this is a guy. I don't have any autos of him specifically yet. I just have colored number cards first. These sell not as much as the autos, but they are good movers as well. But if you can't afford the $40 auto side, get the numbered stuff. Those also work as well. You won't get that heftier price, but you'll still, they're still collectible, especially like the base blues, the base greens, all the base colors, for sure. But this was going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm still working on this, very much so. But please feel free to leave feedback or any other players you'd like me to talk about. I have a ton of guys I love talking about. This is someone I wanted to make a video on next just because I saw that he got that non-roster spring training invite, so I'm going to be really looking forward to watching him right out the gate in spring training in a few weeks. Super pumped for him. So yeah, please drop any players you want me to talk about possibly in the comment section. I'd love to talk about them. Love to take a little bit of a deeper dive, watch some highlights, and get my view on points on things. Feel free to comment, subscribe, like the video for more content like this. Get some more cards at the PSA here soon. But appreciate you guys tuning in again.